Boxer Joel Siapno of San Leandro goes by the nickname Quiet Storm.
I don't talk trash to me. I walk in the gym, put my head down, get ready, and I go in the ring, and I do damage, you know. I let my hands do the talking.
He has also trained his hands to do medical work.
Nursing school is long days and short nights. There's grueling hours in clinicals, 13-hour days.
The 22-year-old just graduated from Samuel Merritt Nursing School in Oakland, but he's decided to put his nursing career on hold while he turns pro as a welterweight.
I saw this picture of you at graduation. You got a stethoscope around your neck and everything. That's a much different uniform than you got here.
Yeah, it is. You know, I mean, I wanted to go to nursing school, and I believe in, you know, finishing what I started. I wore the stethoscope around my neck proud. You know, I went up to grab my diploma proud.
With nursing, you're helping people. Boxing, you're hurting them.
That is true. There are coinciding values there, but what can I say? I love to fight. Nursing is something I enjoy too. I get a lot of satisfaction from knowing that I've made an impact on someone's life and I help them get better.
And in the ring, you're impacting someone's face.
And that is true. In the ring, I'm impacting someone's face, but I love to fight.
North side. South side. If you cross any of these borders...
So you gotta protect yourself everywhere you go.
What do you mean you gotta protect yourself? Like carrying guns or...?
No, not carrying no guns. Just be aware of what you do.
DeMilo Nash might not be packing heat, but others certainly do, to protect themselves in the war between North and South. For generations, the two sides separated by hatred.
It's crazy.
How so?
It's like one part don't like this part, another part don't like that part.
Do you feel like you're scared on a daily basis sometimes?
No, I've been growing up in it.
Devone Bogan says Operation Peacemaker Fellowship aims to bring the two sides together without the guns.
Expectation that we're going to go to war.
The program does it step by step. The most popular part, traveling. The fellowship pays for the guys to get out of Richmond, see California, and see the world. But there's a catch.
When we leave the country, you have to be willing to get on a plane with a young man who's trying to kill you or someone that you're trying to kill.
They visited Washington, D.C., Mexico City, and while there, they met public leaders, visited colleges, done community service projects. Working together for these guys, more foreign than the countries they visit. Before the program, DeMilo had only been as far as San Jose.
It'd be like people that's really trying to take you somewhere and take you out and really want to get you, that's love right there. People don't give love like that nowadays.
So if we start changing the value system of these young people, the culture will shift.
Sam Vaughn is a program mentor, hired because he himself did time, 10 years for attempted murder.
I didn't really understand as a man who I needed to be because I didn't have another man showing me this is what a real man does.
That's it.
Now he's doing what his dad couldn't, trying to shift these men's minds, building trust between mentor and fellow. That means not talking to police and looking away at nonviolent illegal activity.
Can't do that. That would compromise everything that we do. It would compromise our relationship, our word, our bond.
You're putting a lot of trust in people you even said are self-identified criminals. What would you have to say to the critics?
I would say let's consider the alternative. The alternative in this city has been reflected of more and more gun violence.
So far, the alternative is working. These fellows surpassing all expectations simply by staying alive, giving rise to hope in a city that desperately needs it.
This office and these fellows and this fellowship opportunity is a mother's best hope that her son or daughter won't be shot by a firearm in this city.
In Richmond, Kate Kogirin, KPIX 5.
He knew his camera, and he knew it like it was part of an extension of himself.
Together, Jim Marshall and his Leica clicked, capturing the most intimate moments, as if he was letting us in on a secret. He got personal with the music greats Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, the Grateful Dead, and the Beatles' last performance at Candlestick Park.
This is coming onto the stage at Candlestick, coming out of second base, and I was running backwards.
Jim died in 2010. He left his photo archive to his assistant, Amelia Davis.
When we were cleaning out his apartment, I came across a notebook that Jim had done.
That notebook was a mock-up of a project Jim started in 1976. It was called The Hate, a collection of never-before-seen photos Jim took in the late 60s.
In some ways, I feel like an archaeologist, and I'm on a dig, and I'm finding all these treasures.
Jim tried to get the book published in the 70s, but no one would bite, so Amelia decided to finish a project no one knew he started, about a love of a place, an era, and a state of mind.
It shows everything that was going on, not just the music, but the anti-war protests, the interracial marriages, the drug scene.
The Hate was ground zero for this global explosion of higher consciousness, fueled by LSD, rock music, and new political and social thinking.
Amelia called on author, journalist, and Jim's friend Joe Selvin to put words to Jim's art.
Obnoxious, abrasive, contentious, profane. But if Jim Marshall was your friend, you had a friend for life.
Joel wrote the history behind hundreds of Jim's photos.
It's a moment in time that was over pretty much before anybody knew what was happening. These pieces of history will never happen again. That's Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones. He also had the ability to really blend in, so he never stood out, and so people forgot he was there. So he could get those very intimate moments.
And there's a moment in time frozen and framed.
He may have been somewhere photographing a musician, but he also was looking around and seeing what else was going on around at the time. And a lot of photographers didn't do that. They didn't have that curiosity.
A curiosity that captured Bay Area history, and it all came from a notebook buried in photographs.
We finished what Jim started, and I think he'd be proud of it.
In San Francisco, Kate Kogirin, KPIX 5.
Phantom Fury, that's the battle.
That was the battle. That was the second battle of Fallujah.
Painted across the chest of Mike Ergo of Walnut Creek is the bloodiest battle of the Iraq War. The worst memory of his life.
It was a month I dreaded.
Come on, Sharp!
November 2004, 23 members of his unit were killed.
A tattoo is a great way of showing that, yes, I carry this within my heart forever, and I also show it on my skin for the rest of my life.
Mike is one of millions returning home from 2 recent wars. 24 California veterans are now sharing their indelible stories of the agony of combat, expressing their loss in an art project called War Ink.
The clouds are like the angel rays coming down, and it's my feet. They're my Chuck Taylors with wings, so it's like my feet going to heaven.
War Ink was conceived in part by a Contra Costa County librarian who realized there might be a solution to the age-old problem of combat veterans struggling to readjust to society. They often hold it all inside. Isolation is common, even for heroes.
These tattoos are a way of hearing their narrative and really honoring them.
Through their tattoos, the project creators figured maybe veterans might begin to open up to the civilian public and begin to heal.
And in that flag are names of men that I worked with that died in combat. And down towards the bottom, you know, are demons that, which represent, you know, the memory, you know, of all of this for me.
You don't have to directly ask about your military experience. You can say, hey, that's a cool tattoo. What does that mean?
I feel kind of lonely all the time, and it's a way for people to look, you know, be like, hey, what's that? What's that about?
The month of November was nightmarish.
It was terrible. I just would kind of go into a cave and just kind of hide out for a little while.
But nowadays, Mike celebrates November. That's because last November is when his baby arrived.
My daughter was born November 4th, and it went from an experience of death in November to an experience of brand new life.
Lives honored as we remember those lost this Veterans Day through ink. Joe Vasquez, KPIX 5.